live. A little bit different Friday afternoon, depending where you are in the world. If you're in Hawaii, it's still the morning for you, right? If you're in Australia, which some of our listeners are, it's Saturday morning ish for you. So, but we're live. We're talking Dynasty. We're wanting to do this for a few weeks now. Now seems like a good time, though. We're halfway through the fantasy regular season, slightly over halfway because we did have the first game of week 8 kickoff and play yesterday, which if you're a Chargers fan or started Chargers, certain Chargers players, you're happy. Or pick the Chargers in the pool. And Kevin's just coming out with a banger here, just giving us $5 and saying thanks and appreciate you, Kevin.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin.
It's very kind of you. And you're welcome. We enjoy doing this. And honestly, we would do it probably if we weren't even making money. We're not even making like crazy amount of money or anything, but we would do this. It's a more of the love of the game than anything. So, and we already spend all of our time doing it anyway. So
yeah, I think that's kind of how this started, right? We're like, maybe we should just record ourselves talking about all the shit we would talk about anyways.
Yeah. Yep. And Danny's here. Happy Friday, Danny. So yeah, we're going to be talking a lot of Dynasty. I mean, if you do have questions about week 8, you can definitely leave them in the chat. I don't know if we're going to answer them right away. I mean, if you super chat us, we will for sure. We'll kind of like pause and maybe answer a few and then talk more Dynasty. So if you play Dynasty, kind of just wanted to have a very open live stream show, just kind of talking Dynasty landscape, looking at the rookies and where they're at, maybe major changes that have happened and stuff like that. So Chargers offense is fun. Just expect it to be a spread offense going forward. Yeah. I mean, definitely, we were talking about it yesterday. Like one of the reasons I don't have any Aronde Gadsden on all my Dynasty teams is because I just thought he was not a Chargers tight end, they're going to run the ball and smash mouth, and that's not what Gadsden was. But obviously things have changed there. So it is fun. Hopefully they can keep Herbert healthy and those tackles can be healthy and Mekhi Becton can get healthy. So it would be a lot of fun there for sure. But Dynasty, good old Dynasty. And if you guys have any particular Dynasty questions about anything, leave them in the chat. Of course, hit the like button for us. And we'll just kind of start here. Overall thoughts on like the rookie class there, Brian. Like when I ask you, this rookie class has been blank, are you saying like average, below average, above average, great, it hasn't met expectations? Like what are you feeling with this rookie class?
I'm thinking overall pretty good. Like I'd say above average. I wouldn't say like excellent, but we've definitely seen some guys come out swinging, obviously like we have like Buka, we still haven't seen it from Tet in the way that we'd want just yet, but still solid. We saw a good game from Travis Hunter finally last week. So, I know you like to say this and it's true. Like we kind of get spoiled sometimes where it's like, we're only 7 or 8 games into these guys' careers. So, give them a little time, let them figure it out. Obviously the running back class has been like, we're seeing the depth of it so far, right? Like obviously Genty's been a disappointment for how he's performed, but who can be any good on the Raiders? We were seeing good things from Hampton. We've seen it from Judkins, Scattaboo. I haven't seen Henderson do anything yet, but I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take to get him going, but overall, I'd say it's a pretty big win there. And obviously with Tyler Warren just killing it, Fannon's looking good. Some good stuff from Gadsden and Taylor. We knew it was a weak quarterback class, so we can't really hold that too much against it. So,
yeah. It's funny, like, Dynasty affects redraft, which in turn redraft affects Dynasty. And what I mean by that is like Dynasty affects redraft because rookies are starting to get pushed up earlier and taken in redraft. But if you fail in redraft, it affects how you view these guys in Dynasty a little bit, right? Because we're drafting Travion Henderson in the 4th round of our fantasy redrafts, and that was a huge mistake. Teteroa McMillan was a 4th or 5th round pick. Like, we're drafting these guys high. They don't perform after the first 7-8 weeks, which is huge. It's huge in redraft. It means half your season, and you might, I have some teams that aren't going to make the playoffs probably because I bought into too many rookies or something like that, right? So it's just kind of funny how it all, in turn they kind of affect each other. So, so the rookie quarterbacks, and J-Dabs, I see your question there. We'll get to it in just a second here. Really, there's 2 guys to talk about. It's Jackson Dart and Cam Ward. So my first question is, who would you take straight up? You're sitting there on the clock. You're going to take one of these 2 guys. Like, you have to take one of these 2 guys in a dynasty startup, wherever. Who are you choosing and why? Is it Cam Ward, the number 1 overall pick, or Jackson Dart, 1st round pick, who's been better this year?
Yeah, I mean, if it's between the 2, I am going to go Dart because we are starting to see it. We've seen, he took away the starting job from Russell Wilson. We're seeing him win in ways that we thought he could. Obviously, there's a lot of trouble in Tennessee, and I don't know how easy that stuff is to fix without a line. And Cam Ward was kind of like de facto 101. I mean, he was the actual 101, right? But like, I don't know if anyone was like super excited about him. It was kind of like, yeah, he's gonna be the guy. So yeah, I think Dart's the answer. What's that?
No one was talking about him at all. Like, he was like
Right.
the rookie. I mean, people were talking about Shador Sanders, who was a 5th round pick. They weren't talking about Cam Ward. It was a little strange. I think I would take Dart as well. Now, I'll say this: like, it doesn't take much for me if I have Dart and someone offers me Ward and a 2nd round pick. I'm easily taking Ward and a 2nd round pick. Like, it doesn't take much for me to just trade Dart for Ward. But there's a lot of things at play here. Like, one, Jackson Dart has been better. And he's been good. He's been good in a way for fantasy football. Like, the rushing is insane. I mean, he has like 170 rushing yards in 4 games and like 3 or 4 rushing touchdowns. So since he started, he's rushed for 54, 55, 58, and 11. So that's a 17-game pace of 750 rushing yards and 13 rushing touchdowns. So probably not going to happen, but could he rush for 700? I think so. So that's great for fantasy, but also it's kind of what you were touching on. People love Jackson Dart. People are excited about Jackson Dart. People are excited about the Giants because of Scattaboo and Jackson Dart and how they act off the field and their interviews, and it's New York, and you comparing that to Tennessee. Like, Tennessee is just like, the milquetoast of it all, like in the AFC South, which I feel like for the entire time I've been watching football, it's always been like the worst division in football, the AFC South. At least it's been like the least interesting. So I don't know. I think it is Dart. Keep Trade Cut says it's Dart. Keep Trade Cut has Dart at 13, Cam Ward at 19. Are you kind of in the same boat though? Does it not take a whole lot for you to like, all right, someone added a 2nd to Ward, I'm going to take the 2nd, and just, Ward can still very easily be better than Jackson Dart.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really thought about like comparing one to the other. I think I'm pretty happy with Dart, because he was kind of going more or less like in the last 3 picks of the 1st round. Like, I saw him go everywhere from between like pick 9 to pick 15 in 12-team Superflex leagues, and so Ward was probably between 2 and 4, basically 2 and 5 maybe. So I think that's fine to do if you are rebuilding and you're trying to like add another piece. I feel like you might be able to like get a little bit more than that. Like, maybe one of those like receivers going in like the 3rd round who hasn't done anything yet. Like, maybe a little sugar on top. But I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think like I think us not doing that is basically like buying into 7 weeks too quickly. Or in Jackson Dart's case, it's 4 weeks. Buying into 4 weeks a little bit too fast because no one was taking Dart over Ward in rookie drafts. Like maybe it happened because you had a Giants fan in your league, but sure, maybe they weren't that far off, but no one was taking Ward over it. So I feel like it's just a little bit of an overreaction. But yeah, I think I would take something on top, or like you said, an Alec Ioman or something like that, or a Trey Harris or a Jack Besh or one of those receivers, like you basically said, that haven't done anything, but they got good draft capital, right?
Yeah. Would you trade Dart for Ward plus Caleb Johnson?
Dart and say that again. Sorry.
Dart for Ward and Caleb Johnson. I'm just trying to think of who else was kind of going in the first round. Like, because I mean, that's kind of like along those same lines, right? Where it's like, okay, I mean, depending on how you felt about him in the preseason and everything, but he was a first round guy.
He was.
Obviously,
he was like very high in the first.
Yeah, but he was basically like 5th to 8th or something like that. It's like, I think I actually would be a little more interested in a deal like that, honestly, like trying to buy low. And it's along those same lines as what you were saying, as far as like not being too reactionary to, 7 weeks of a player's career.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, the other rookies, there's really not anyone else to talk about, like Jalen Milroe, Tyler Shuck. These guys haven't done anything, probably aren't going to get in. I mean, Shuck could get in at the end of the year, I guess. I don't think Rattler's playing terribly, but at the same time, if they don't believe in Rattler as their future, they might want to see what they have in Shuck. Dylan Gabriel is starting, but I don't really see him as a starting quarterback. I think he has some traits that are good, but like, man, he's just one of those, like, he really needs his weapons, really good weapons around him and stuff like that, and the right offensive system and stuff. So, Shedeur Sanders, we'll see. So, the rookie running backs, and we'll get to a couple of these. JDab says, how's it going? I have a question of which of these deals you'd rather target on a 12-team dynasty. PPR competitor, JCM, and a 26 first, mid to late for James Cook, or add on another 26 first and Olave for Bijan. So 2 firsts and Olave and JCM. 2 firsts, Olave and JCM for Bijan, or 2 firsts and Olave for Bijan.
Yeah, I think honestly they're both fair deals. I'm trying to think of which one I would rather do. Obviously, like James Cook and Bijan are, pretty far apart. The nice thing about James Cook, like he did get his contract extension, and his value's a little depressed because he had a couple of bad games, and the bye week, so people haven't really been thinking about him too much. But
yeah,
the other price for Bijan, I think, is fair. It's what you basically should have to pay to a team who's trying to rebuild for Bijan. I don't know.
I do want to know how many starters you're starting in here, J-Dabs, because that might change it a little bit. Like if it's a start 12, you tend to like to get 3 or 4 pieces for one guy, and that's usually the play. We're seeing it in our listener leagues that we have, where it's just like, man, even the good teams are, especially during like this week where there's all these buys, we are like bottom of the barrel who to start, and it's tough out there, like it really is tough. I'm just looking at, I know Cass has a pretty good team. He's starting a guy like Troy Franklin this week. Yacht Possum is starting Noah Fant this week in a flex spot. Like, it gets tough. Malik Washington in a wide receiver spot. Like, and he's in second place. He's 9-5. You know, so like, knowing how many starters there are is kind of important here. I think I think I prefer the Krosky Merit in a first for Cook rather than 2 firsts and Olave, especially if one of those firsts is early. You know, Olave, dude's wide receiver 9 this year. All it took was one big game, so to start 10 super flex. It took one big game. He was Mr. Consistent. He has one big game, and that just shot him up to wide receiver 9 this year. Like, so he's been really, really good this year, and we know he's good. And he's, you know, so I think I prefer the first one, the GCM in a 26 first for Cook.
It is a start 10, he said right there at the bottom.
Yeah.
So, okay, sorry. Did you mention that?
I did, but kind of quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of right in the middle there. 12 teams start 10. So I don't mind either one either. I think I prefer the JCM to get Cook. So
yeah, that was my initial lean too, because it's the cheaper of the options, you know, but obviously like I was saying, like the caliber of the players is so different. But I think James Cook, as long as he stays healthy, will still be a top 12 running back. You know, he's sitting at running back 10. I'm using the wrong league for this. I always use Sleeper because I can like jump through players. Where is he at? Where's James Cook at in half PPR? Oh no, I guess this is full PPR, huh?
In full PPR, James Cook is why am I on receivers? Running back 10. That's with the bye week. Per game, he's RB9.
Yeah, and 2 down games, right? So that just shows you a little bit of his value. So yeah, I think I would lean that way, but you know, like you say, like start 10 is shallow or shallower. I guess it's kind of average. 12 teams start 10. So those superstars really do matter more.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine with either one. I prefer the first trade though. These are redraft stuff. Tez Johnson, Booty, Worthy, pick 2 full PPR. I think I'm still starting Worthy. I know he had a down week there. I think I'm going to go Tez Johnson and Worthy. Booty, he's a boom bust guy. He runs go routes. If he catches a go route, he's awesome. They're playing Cleveland, tougher defense. I think I'll just go Tez and Worthy here.
Yeah, I agree.
Bucks defense or Falcons defense? My first thought is, are those the 2 best on the waivers? I mean, I guess the Falcons are playing Miami. It's probably Falcons then.
No, well, Colts on the Titans or playing the Titans. Oh, you mean on his waiver specifically?
Yeah. They're actually not bad matchups. Falcons home against Miami, and then Bucks at New Orleans. So,
yeah, I think I'll lean Bucks.
Yeah, I'd probably go Falcons, but I'm fine with either one. Homer.
Bias.
Gabriel does feel like a bridge quarterback. Would you trade a potential trade Harold Fannin and Luther Burden for the 105? It is a start 11, 1.75 tight end premium. So that I'm assuming, Terry, that tight ends are getting 1.75 and not 2.75, right? And there's no standard way in the dynasty world to say tight end premiums. I like to say what they're getting on top of the PPR. So if it's half PPR and it's a 1 point tight end premium, I say 1 point tight end premium, and then they're getting 1.5. So they're getting 1.75. Okay. Not 2.75. I think I would make that trade. Fannin and Burden for the 105.
Just cash out the profit.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's like a smash win. I mean, Fannin's been good this year. Luther Burden was already like kind of a fringe first round pick in last year's draft. Just think there's a lot more you can do with the 105. Like Luther Burden, we don't know if he's going to do anything this year. And that's really going to, like, his value is going to kind of probably not tank, but it's going to go down quite a bit. So, yeah, I think I just take the 105.
Yeah, I mean, people are pretty excited about Fannin in general.
They are.
Tight end 7 on Keep Trade Cut right now. That's a little surprising.
Yeah.
I don't really look at the rankings and how they change. I know you can just like look at the actual rankings. But yeah, it's kind of tough because, you know, like if you're rebuilding, I feel like you kind of want the 2 players and not jump to conclusions, I guess, about what they're going to be. But it is hard to turn down a mid first round pick. So yeah, probably.
Yeah. Remember, you can trade the first round pick. Like if you trade the first 105 and trade back to the 108 and you get, you know, a bunch of stuff. And like, man, people get so excited about picks as it gets closer. And like, so I just think like it's the safer bet. I like Fannin, you know, 1.75 tight end premium. It's good. It's not 2, you know, it's not, you know, I assume it's PPR. So, you know, it's not 2 points. It's not 2.5 points. It's not something super crazy. It's good, but it's not like, you know, the be all end all type of thing. So I think I'm fine with the 105 there. He does say he's rebuilding in this league. He has 11 first. Wait, you have 11 first in the 26 draft? This is the last one. Holy crap.
Well, you're sitting pretty there.
Maybe I just take the 2 players then.
I think I keep the 2 players. And then definitely try and cash some of those picks in for 27 first. Like, you know, like diversify yourself.
27 class, I think, is going to be way better than the 26 class. Still too early to know for sure, but I don't know. It shouldn't really change too much. The fact that he has all those picks, like it's still, you know, to me, the better value is still the 105. But, you know, if you're planning on a long-term rebuild, then I'm fine with it. But if you want to kind of turn this team around quickly, we know rookies, like, it's going to take a year, most likely, for most of these guys at least. So that's funny, though. It's the entire first round.
Yeah.
Okay, rookie running backs. We got, of course, this was the running back class. Genty, Hampton, Judkins, Scattaboo, Travion Henderson. I'm going to stop there. So those 5 guys, Genty, Hampton, Judkins, Scattaboo, and Travion. How are you ordering those 5 guys just in a vacuum on the clock? How would you order them? Genty, Hampton, Judkins, Scattaboo, and Travion.
Probably just like that, honestly. Like, I think that's kind of the way I'm leaning. Yeah. No notes.
so Scattaboo over Henderson then.
Yeah, I mean, just because we're starting to see it, like I think you can get a little more for Scattaboo right now. I'm just thinking about it in terms of like the stock market, you know, like you like to think about it as now. If you can turn Scattaboo into Henderson plus something, I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah,
even if it is like one of those like low end. Or when I say low end, I mean, like, think about all the, like, the receivers. I mean, we're going to keep bringing these guys up, right? Like, these guys that went in the second round / third round that haven't done anything yet. Like, if you can get one of those guys for Scattaboo. Yeah, sorry, I said that a little weird. One of those guys plus Henderson for Scattaboo. Like, I'm doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. I feel like I called this, man, like back when Scattaboo was maybe even before the draft, basically just said like, dude, people are going to fall in love with Scattaboo. Like, because the way he plays and the person he is. And like, it's happened exactly how I predicted it. Like how he runs people over and just smashes people, and his personality. And I even mentioned the crowd is going to they're going to shout boo whenever he makes a play, and they're literally doing that. Like, and all of that stuff, whether it's fair or not, all of that stuff affects dynasty value. People are just like with Jackson Dart. People love Scadaboo. He's in New York. He's going to get primetime games, like all that stuff. So I see it. I still think Travion's the better running back, and so like, yeah, I mean, you're right in terms of like playing the stock market. If we're looking, because again, we're never talking about taking these guys with the intention of just holding them the rest of their career. And so if you're going to move on from these guys, like you're going to get a lot more, like you said exactly. You're going to, especially if we fast forward in several months, you're probably going to get a lot more for Scadaboo than Travion in March, unless Travion really goes off the second half or the month of December. It won't take much for Travion. Like if he has a great 4 weeks to end the year, they're going to be neck and neck. But if he continues the path that he's down, which I don't really see anything changing, when we're sitting there, what's more valuable in March or April of next year? It's going to be Scadaboo.
I don't know. So you remember I was asking you, I was like, where's all the Scadaboo like memes and
like,
all that stuff? My coworker shared a really good one. Have you seen the one of him and Jackson Dart as He-Man characters?
No, I haven't.
I don't know a good way to share it right here. I could just paste the link, but it's freaking huge. So
He-Man. Let's see if I can pull it up.
Just put in Dart and Scadaboo He-Man, and it's like the first one. It's pretty great.
I don't see it popping up.
I went under images on Google. I'll have to post it in our leagues because I meant to do it last week, but I was in the desert. So, anyways,
yeah, post it in one of our leagues. I guess I don't actually see it here.
Yeah.
But okay, I do see it. Like you're saying it's the characters from He-Man and showing like Dart and okay. Yeah, I do see that. I didn't really watch He-Man, but that is definitely Scadaboo, just the dude.
Yeah.
Just battering Ram. So yeah, I tend to agree with you there. And we have to, I think it's more valuable to play Dynasty that way. Again, I'm not saying Travion's a worse running back. Like, I don't think he is. I think he's a better running back. And like you said, I'll take, someone wants to offer me anything on top of Travion or on top of, Travion, and they want Scadaboo from me, I'll happily do it. But, okay. And then you're still Judkins or Hampton over Judkins, even though, we might not see Hampton until December.
Yeah. Because I'm just thinking about it long term. Obviously, that can be very situational, but I think he's got a little bit of a tough schedule coming up too, doesn't he? Judkins does.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like every game is going to be a tough game for like the Browns.
Yeah.
They have Patriots.
Their defense keep them in. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say Patriots, Jets, Ravens, Raiders. So not terrible. I mean, Jets and Raiders. They do have a bye week. No, they don't have a bye week in there. Oh no, they do have a bye week in there. So it's Patriots bye week. Jets, Ravens, Raiders. So yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm still Hampton. I think even the little bit we saw from Hampton is enough for him to not lose really much value in Dynasty at all. Like he's actually moved up 2 spots in the last 30 days.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy.
And I think the involvement in the passing game is a huge win for Hampton over Judkins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I think Hampton, honestly, Hampton could be the best running back from this running back class. And I am standing by that. I said that again all the way back before the NFL draft. I said that. So Genty, Yeah, it's just, man, what do we see though with the future? Like we talk about eyes on the Raiders. That's why. Like, what's going to change for the Raiders over the next year? I mean, I think Pete Carroll potentially might be gone. Like, that could be a very quick. Oh, this didn't go as planned. We're 2-4. They're probably not going to suck enough to get a top pick. Probably going to win a few more games.
Don't say that.
I mean,
no one wants to see that.
No, I mean, but they get the Browns. They get the Browns and Giants, plus divisional games are always a little, they can be a little funky. So I imagine they squeak out a couple more wins to where they're not the top pick. I don't know. Yeah, it's tough with Genty. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. It does seem to be situation.
Yeah, I mean, the dude's still like playing okay, I guess. Also, like for some reason I was kind of thinking like Bijan's rookie year wasn't as good. I'm just like looking at it and I was like, could it be similar to him? Now I'm not saying talent wise or anything like that, but I just felt like the Falcons were not that great of a team when he was there.
Bijan had like 1,500 total yards or something like that?
Yeah, basically. So it's about 1,450 and 8 touchdowns. So there goes that theory with almost 60 catches.
Yeah, what was Bijan? He was RB9 that year.
Yeah.
So probably not as good, but it's not going to be that far off, I guess. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe a top 20 guy, most likely.
I mean, Genty's basically kind of on that path. Like, like I'm just kind of like doubling all his numbers in my head, which it should actually be a little better than that. Mm-hmm. So that puts him, right around 1,000 rushing yards, just like Bijan. That puts him. He's the catches and everything are not comparable. I mean, it's going to be 35 catches ish for Genty, 40 catches compared to 60 for Bijan. But the touchdowns, he's got 5 so far. So even if you double that and add a little bit, 11, maybe 12, and that's more than Bijan. So they might actually finish pretty close points wise in their rookie careers.
Yeah. Real quick, guys, we will get to some of these questions that I see rolling in. We're kind of just talking Dynasty. No real direction, kind of just looking at the rookies overall. Maybe we'll get to some other topics. If you have anything you want to talk about with Dynasty theory, thoughts on players, stuff like that, obviously leave it in the chat here. So the other running backs, I mean, rookies to talk about, obviously Bill's all the way up at RB19. He feels like a sell high to me. I love Bill. Again, we were one of the first channels to really be talking about Bill in the Dynasty world. March 27th or something, we brought him up on this channel in a video about like a potential, like, oh, this guy could be sneaky. And now he's all the way at RB19. He feels like a sell high. I don't think he's done quite enough to like warrant that. I mean, I know he's kind of come from being a 7th round pick and the last running back taken in the draft, but like he's had like one good game, 2 good games this year, So I don't know. He feels a little bit like a sell high. Like the Commanders could easily just draft like someone in the 1st or 2nd round next year, and it just It kills Bill's value. So I don't know if I'm wrong about. And again, I love Bill. Like, and I just feel like I would try and capitalize on him, like J-Dabs was trying to do. Attaching Bill to a 1st and really tearing up.
Yeah.
A kind of a very well-established running back that's not going to go anywhere for the next few years.
Yeah, so that's the move, right? Like, we don't have to like go all the way back to that trade, but that is, I did really like that side of it because it's a huge tier up, and you're not getting James Cook for just a 1st. So
no,
tagging a player like him is the perfect situation.
Bill looks good though. Like when you watch JCM, like he looks good. I just don't know, like, is he going to be a little bit of a trap back? Like, he doesn't catch passes. At least they're not. He didn't in college. He has 7 in 7 games this year. So it's kind of looking like he's like you're lucky to get 2 catches from JCM, and so
Yeah.
that turns into like he kind of needs touchdowns.
And that trade could work out for both sides just fine too. Like those are kind of the kind of trades that you kind of want to make, Don't get so obsessed with trying to win the trade and stuff like that. Like both people can win the trade.
Yeah.
That's kind of how you know it's a good trade.
Yeah. Yeah. And this day and age, man, you kind of have to lose a trade to make a trade. Like optically lose a trade to make a trade. It sounds stupid, but like people just like they want to win a trade by so much, and they don't even like, I'll send you a 4th round pick for Bryce Young and stuff like that. It's like, dude, I don't know. It's just crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I feel a little bit like JCM, like I do about James Cook a bit, in the fact that like James Cook, like Bijan is a part of the Falcons. It's going to take the Falcons losing 30-0 for Bijan to have a bad game. The Falcons even have an average game. Bijan's having a good game for fantasy. Maybe not a great game, but a good game. Same thing with Jonathan Taylor and Jahmyr Gibbs and these guys, right? Whereas like James Cook is kind of in that of like, they can kind of survive without James Cook in a game or two.
That did happen earlier this year, right? Is that what you were talking about? It wasn't even a bad game. He still had over 100 yards when they lost 30-0 to Carolina.
Bijan did?
Yeah, he still had 100 yards.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even know that. I just assumed he had a bad game. I didn't.
110, 111, I guess.
Yeah, so that just kind of like, like he is their centerpiece, whereas like that's not the case for James Cook, but he's on a really good offense. I kind of feel that way with Bill. Like he's that type of running back, maybe not quite as good as James Cook, and I don't think he's on as good of an offense that's going to be around the goal line multiple times a game, which is why James Cook has been good. So, yeah, I think he's a sell high. RJ Harvey, where are we at with Harvey? He's right. Who would you take, JCM or Harvey?
I'll hold out for Harvey, I guess, and not try to be too reactionary. But I mean, we're kind of seeing a lot of the problems with Harvey that we kind of thought we would, right? Like, but we kind of talked ourselves into it a little bit, like as far as like, well, we know there's going to be multiple guys involved in the Sean Payton offense. He's still not playing enough. Obviously, we want that snap share to get closer, but I think I'm just gonna stick with RJ Harvey.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, we were drafting him before J.K. Dobbins even got attached to the Broncos, which has obviously been a big problem for him.
I mean, yeah. It's that and Tyler Bidet as well. Like that's what kind of worries me is like they're using Tyler Bidet. They used him more the last 2 weeks, Tyler Bidet, than RJ Harvey in terms of snap share. Tyler Bidet was over 25%. I guess more than last week, 28.3 for RJ Harvey in week 6, 24.7. So over the last 2 weeks, they've basically been used equally the same. And that worries me in the sense of like, is that telling about Harvey? Is that just how they want to run this offense? I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean they're winning games.
What's it take for you though to like a 3rd round pick? Here's Bill and a 3rd for Harvey. Or just make it. Is it that close, or is it still, you want a little bit more for Harvey?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I feel like I'm kind of just viewing them more or less like equal. Like I don't know. I don't know. They seem kind of like on like value in my mind, probably more similar. And so maybe a tiny piece, but like I wouldn't even like push for it. But I mean, Krosky Merritt, he's got to be so much higher, right? Oh, they're actually
No,
back.
he's one spot high. Yeah, they're back to back.
Didn't even realize that. So yeah, I don't know. I think they're basically like one's a hope and one's kind of like, he's playing good enough to start right now.
Yeah, I think I lead Bill only because like just basically what we talked about with Scadaboo and Travion, kind of the same thing of like who in 3 weeks could you see being worth a lot more, and it's Bill, because I don't think they're gonna really change too much with Harvey. I don't really see that situation changing. Harvey could have a big game, but like he's going to have to probably do it getting 30% of the snaps and getting 7-8 touches, like, or obviously an injury and stuff like that. But so I think I kind of just take Bill straight up for that reason. Again, not saying I think Bill is going to be better in his entire career than Harvey, but I'm kind of trying to play the stock market a little bit. You can't always play it that way. It's good to have. Yeah, I talk about like the process a lot, and the reason why we do talk about the process is like fantasy football is so unpredictable. Football in general is so unpredictable. No one can predict Rico Dowdle is going to go 200 plus yards back to back weeks and be in the like he's literally like with Hall of Famer Rico Dowdle. Like no one can predict that stuff. And so like you try to make moves based on the process. You try to start the player who's playing 80% of the snaps versus the guy who's playing 40, even though the guy who's playing 40 had a bigger game last week, right? Like it's the same idea. And so like I think the process here is to take Bill straight up and just banking on him being more valuable in a month and then making your moves from there type of thing. And by more valuable, I mean like decently more valuable than Harvey. So
yeah,
no wrong answers though.
Yeah, I think an important part of the process also is like kind of like you're basically turning a guy you just drafted in the 4th round into a guy that was getting taken mid to late 1st round, right?
True.
Just because we haven't quite seen it yet. So you got to have your convictions about players, and that's probably the hardest thing I think for a little more casual fantasy players is getting into Dynasty. Like it's like, well, how do I value these guys? Like you kind of have to have some conviction.
Yeah, no, you do. And J-Dabs brings up a good point about Kamani Vidal. I really liked Kamani Vidal coming out of college. And then, obviously that soured a bit when they brought in Najee and then drafted Hampton. You're like, well, where's the path for him? Doesn't take much. Like this is why when I make a deep dynasty stash, I say just essentially every running back on an active roster probably should just be on your team if you play in deep enough leagues. And some people are like, I had a guy commenting and just saying like, and I totally respect his opinion, but he's just saying like, I don't, none of these guys are going to be anything. And it's like, we just don't know. Like, did we really think Manny Vidal this year was going to come out and have like 2 really good weeks back to back? No one predicted that, So it's like, yeah, I mean, so I do like to value, have player takes as well, but I try and stick to the process as much as possible because I know I'm going to be wrong a lot with players. So
yeah, you just gotta hope that you're right more often, right? Like if you're right 60% of the time and wrong 40 when it comes to trades or players or drafting or whatever, then you're kind of winning. Like,
yeah,
even though it might not feel like it.
Yeah. Would you play Scary Terry this week coming off an injury, or wait until Daniels gets back? Man, against the Chiefs as well.
Yeah, I mean it's tough. It's tough in general because given the week, right? Like you're gonna have a hard time not playing him. I feel like given all the guys that are on bye.
Mm-hmm.
3
it
receivers.
Kind of depends on who
you're definitely starting them.
Guys. Yeah, it also depends on who who are you talking about starting them over. Like I don't know, Matthew Golden. Who are you starting there, Golden or McLaurin?
Oh, sorry, I was reading. I didn't realize you were asking me a question. You said Golden or Terry.
Yeah.
Is Christian Watson back?
I'd probably just go Terry and just go with the guy I know that's a good receiver, still kind of out.
Yeah,
a bit.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're probably starting him in 3 wide receiver leagues, like you said. But yeah, he's probably fringe top 30 guy, McLaurin. So, 11 first is crazy. Seems like the 26 draft falls off a cliff with positional players. After Love, Tyson, Letman, Tate. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see a lot's gonna depend on which of these quarterbacks come out, but it's not looking like a great quarterback class. You got guys like Ty Simpson is really for Alabama is really rising up the boards. He might have like a Burrow like ascension, kind of like a guy who kind of came, didn't really do anything in his college career. Like literally his most passing yards in a season was 179. And that's kind of what Burrow was like. And then just had that amazing last year. He could have that type of ascension if he continues what he's doing. Fernando Mendoza for Indiana and stuff like that. But it does seem to fall off a cliff a little bit. But there will be guys, that it just takes one position to be kind of deep at. You mentioned Tate. Yeah, there's Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end out of Oregon as well, I think is interesting. But trade Nico and Brees for Sutton and Jalen Warren. Trade Nico and Brees for Sutton and Jalen. I assume, is this Cole? This is redraft or?
It's got to be redraft.
Yeah, trade Nico and Brees for Sutton and Jalen Warren. I think I'll just keep the Nico and Brees side, even though they've been disappointing.
And they're both injured.
Both of them? Yeah, is Nico missing this week?
It says he's probably not going to play. It was concussion, right? He still didn't practice today. So he's trending towards not playing. And I don't know. After watching that game on Monday, I was just like, oh my God. Like, granted, Seattle's defense is really good, but it's just like, holy shit. Like, the Texans just looked so broken. And it was crazy because they were actually in the game until the very end, essentially, on the back of their defense, actually. But they just couldn't get anything going.
Nothing.
It was just sad.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you need a win this week, then maybe you do make this trade. If Nico's going to be out, Brees, it says questionable, but he had a full participation today. But I mean, I guess if you need to win, you're getting 2 guys to start for 1, and you might have to make that move. But I think Brees could have a good game against the Bengals. I don't know. If you're kind of like middle of the road, I don't know, 3 and 4 right there for, you're still – I'd probably just keep Nico and Brees. But if you're 1 and 6 and you need to win, then maybe you make that trade and you get Sutton and Warren to play. Both those guys are playing this week, right? No bye weeks and stuff.
Yeah.
Both
Sutton and Warren are both playing. It's kind of funny because Brees or Jalen, like Warren's been better than Brees per game.
And Sutton's better than Nico, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, overall. So, I think I do like the Sutton Warren side, especially if I am kind of like middle of the pack. Like, I mean, the usage from Warren has been really good. Obviously, like involved in the passing game and everything, and just the Jets are broken. So I think I will take the Warren side.
Yeah. Danny, we'll get into receivers right after this, and we'll come back to this question here. 5 suggestions in Dynasty with the season winding down. Kind of crazy you're saying the season winding down. I mean, we're halfway there, so but maybe
maybe it's winding down for him. Maybe he's like 2 and 6 or something, or 2 and 5.
Yeah, maybe we'll explore that at the end of here, some potential buy lows and stuff. Fringe contender, would you trade Penix in a second for Dak?
Yes.
Superflex and other quarterbacks are Purdy, McCarthy, Dylan Gabriel, and Aaron Rodgers. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. How old is Dak? He's not that old, right?
32.2.
Yeah. No, I would do that. Sitting at 5th place with the 4th most points. Also have CD. Yeah, I'm fine with that trade. Judkins versus Hampton, not Scatterby. Judkins versus Hampton feels like classic talent versus situation. Not that Hampton doesn't have the talent, but doesn't see. I think Hampton personally is more talented than Judkins. I think he is, and just like the little bit we saw from him, man, I think that guy is really, really, really good. And we were just about able to see it, but he got hurt. So and that's nothing against Judkins. I think Judkins is really good too, but. So trade away Bill for BTJ after his big game. That's awesome. That's really good. Got to go Kate Otten or Fannin. Kate Otten or Fannin.
I think I'm going to go Otten. That's close. What are the matchups like? Wasn't really thinking about. Yeah, I wasn't really thinking about redraft questions. This is a tomorrow question. No.
New England versus for Fannin, and then Saints for Kate Otten.
Yeah, I think I'll go Otten.
Yeah, I'm fine with Otten. Fine with Otten there. Sometimes having to e-value on a trade just to keep future talks flowing. Yeah, and potentially winning. Potentially winning. Bourne and Tej Johnson, other than Terry. Would you start Bourne Booty or Tej Johnson over Terry? Any of those guys? Maybe Tez?
Yeah, I was going to say Tez would be the only one. But
and Worthy? I think I would just go Worthy.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Just knowing how well Mahomes is playing. Need 2 flex, Dowdle, Merritt, Ramondre, Ingram, or Schultz. Assuming it's PPR. So Dowdle versus Merritt. I probably lean Dowdle. I don't love, Kansas City with Mariota or playing Washington with Mariota playing Kansas City is kind of scary to me. And we talked about Merritt might be more of a touchdown kind of guy. Ramondre versus Cleveland. Man, this is kind of gross matchups. I think I go Dowdle.
I feel like sticking Schultz in there is good, especially with Nico's. Nico's going to miss, 10, 6, 6, and 6 for targets over the last 4 games. Obviously, he had a big game last week. He didn't even leave the game a few times with a shoulder injury, so that's a little scary. But
we saw how that ruined yesterday's game. I don't even know Wentz had a shoulder injury.
Yeah, I knew he was
arm was falling off.
He was kind of dinged up, but yeah, definitely looked way worse.
I guess I'm okay with that.
I had to start Wentz in our Dynasty League because partially because of buys. I would have started Trevor or Stafford, but they're both on a bye. And then I do have Mac Jones, but Purdy wasn't ruled out yet. And I'm like, I guess I got to start a quarterback. I mean, I guess I could have just thrown another running back into my super flex spot.
Yeah.
But sad.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Dowdle and Schultz. It's just, I might go Dowdle and Ramondre though, personally.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. I feel like Ramondre might be the move, but
yeah, all tough matchups. Just to finish up rookie running backs. There's other guys. The next tier of guys is Woody Marks, Tootin, Caleb Johnson, Ollie Gordon's up there. Dylan Sampson, Monungai, Jaden Blue. These are all guys that definitely could rise up a little bit. I kind of like Brashard Smith and buying low on him, going back to Kevin and some buy lows. I just think the Chiefs seem to want to get him a part of this offense. I don't think he's going to be a workhorse, but can he be kind of what he was last week where, you see him get obviously not as many carries as he got last week because they were just blowing him out, but he gets 5 catches, he gets 4 or 5 carries, and they use him around the goal line, like with Jerick McKinnon.
Yeah, I was going to say McKinnon. He's got the McKinnon role. And we are seeing Monangai starting to play a little more, so that's good. The Dolphins staff was actually just talking about Ollie Gordon, saying we want to get him more involved in the run game. So keep an eye out.
Here's why I'm not in on Ollie Gordon. One, I didn't really like him as a prospect, so I'm using my player take there. But this coaching staff is gone, whether they're gone at the end of the year or in the next couple of weeks, they're gone. And we see it all. The Damian Pierce is the perfect example, like late round running backs who like, oh, there was something there, and then a new coaching staff comes in and like, no, you're not who we want, basically. So I think that's just like, I think Ollie Gordon's a prime candidate for that. Six round pick or whatever he was.
Yeah, they have a bona fide stud in front of him too, so it's not like he's ever going to take over that role.
Yeah. Are you fine with Woody Marks ahead of guys like Tootin and Caleb Johnson? Who were, I don't know about Tootin, but Caleb Johnson absolutely go. Like, where are you at with Caleb Johnson? Like, it's pretty alarming that he can't get on the field. He can't even beat out Kenneth Gainwell.
Well, I mean, Gainwell looked good, right? Like, I'm pretty sure it was Caleb Johnson. He did some dumb shit moves like early on, and Mike Tomlin doesn't take no shit when it comes to that stuff. So he's like, oh, this guy's not ready, so. Yeah, it's definitely not looking good, but I don't know. This is Rodgers' last season. He said that, right? Like, this is it for him.
I don't know if he's officially said it, but yeah, probably.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm looking at his player page like it's going to just say that right there. Like, it's going to talk about what happened last week. Yeah, I mean, Woody Marks, I think he's like an interesting guy. So I don't know if I would trade Caleb Johnson for him, if that's what you're asking me.
Sorry, you want the Woody Marks side?
No, I'm saying like if I have Caleb, like I'm not giving him up for Woody Marks.
I mean, you say that, but if we fast forward in a month and a half, and Caleb Johnson literally he's done nothing.
Yeah,
he's 14 carries for 36 yards. Like, that's it. And he continues on this pace, and Woody Marks continues to be used. And is he going to be amazing? No, but they're going to use him, and he's going to catch. Like, I don't know. Like, I think I might just take Woody. I don't know. It's alarming with Caleb Johnson. It really is. I'm trying to think of like other running backs over the last couple of years who like have gone through this.
What about Henderson?
I mean, at least Travion's on the field, though, and they feel confident to put him on the field.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
that's the biggest difference.
Yeah, it's really hard to have a strong opinion about guys like outside of like, well, they're not playing him, so he's obviously not doing something right,
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to look at like running backs over the last several years who've been drafted who did like nothing in their first year, like. And then, I don't know, like Cam Akers, maybe? Didn't he get hurt his first year? I don't remember. No, he played 13 games his first year, but he put up 650 yards. Caleb Johnson's not going to do that. I don't know, man. It's like
Kyron Williams.
Keyshawn Vaughn is one of those, like Darrington Evans and stuff like that. Like
Kyron.
AJ Dillon. Kyron? Yeah, Kyron, I guess, would be the one, that you point to and say, like, could he be Kyron? Like,
yeah, that's a pretty big leap, but I know.
But you're right, though, because like Kyron, 10 games, 35 carries, 140 yards. This is his rookie year, so yeah. Maybe I think I'm just waiting though. I think I'll buy low on Caleb in a month or in 2 months.
Sure, it's probably not going to change that much. I mean, we even saw the starter go down in front of him, right? And like you said, like Gainwell is keeping him off the field. So not a good sign, but 6 games so far. So we'll see.
Receivers, Danny says, since we're talking rookies, what's the gap between Tet and Travis Hunter now? A first. I don't think it's that high, personally. I mean, who's had, like, I would assume Travis Hunter's game last week is the best game between the two of them, right? That they've had.
Ted had a 2 touchdown game, didn't he? Oh,
but he had like 20. He had like 20 yards.
Yeah,
it was like 3 catches, 20 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, so Travis Hunter's had the best game. They are over 2.5 points per game apart. Maybe we saw something with Travis Hunter. They kind of stopped. They didn't use him on defense as much. There was a lot of garbage time. I'll say that. and so there was a decent amount of garbage time there for Travis Hunter, but
Yeah, they're only
used him down the field.
They're only one target apart per game.
Yeah, I mean, I would happily take Travis in a first for if I have Tet and someone's offering me Travis Hunter in a first.
Yeah,
I'll take it. So I don't think it's that far. I mean, I want Tet over Travis Hunter.
Tetaroa.
Yeah, sorry, Tetaroa. T-Mac. I mean, Tetaroa, like, he could be kind of like Chris Olave, like, in the sense of he's been okay to start the year. Like, he's been giving you, like, a floor. Last week wasn't great, but, like, 4 for 60, 6 for 73, 6 for 100, 5 for 68, like, giving you that floor. He has one 30-point game, and he's going to be like a top 20 receiver, right, for fantasy. So he's one kind of blow-up game away from us changing our opinion. I don't know. What is the difference between Tetaroa and Hunter? Is there a second? Couple seconds?
Yeah, probably a second. I think in like, I was going to say the zeitgeist. I don't know if that's the right word. I mean, I know what that word means, but like the collective unconscious, I got to imagine. Let's see where they're actually ranked. We got Tetaroa at 11, and where is Hunter? He's at 21. So you probably can get more than a second. Maybe one of those receivers we keep going back to, a Jack Besh. Jack Besh? Yeah. Is that right?
I always want to say Jeff.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I would
Jack.
know this guy's name if he did something. No. Wait, is it Jeff?
No, it's Jack. It's Jack.
Oh, okay.
I think we want to say Jeff, like Jeff Beck, Jeff Besh, Jeff Beck. At least that's in my mind. So,
yeah. I mean, to me, it's a second. Like, I'm not giving up Travis Hunter in a second to get Tetaroa, though, I don't think. But I think that's probably, let's see. What do we need to add to Travis Hunter according to Keep Trade Cut? It's a Jalen Warren, a Jordan Mason, a Michael Pittman, or Devontae.
I would happily take Pittman and Travis Hunter.
Right?
I mean, especially in deeper leagues, maybe not in shallow leagues.
Let me ask you a question here. This is not related to exactly what we're talking about, but you know how Keep Trade Cut has like the value adjustment, like where it's like when it's a 2-for-1 trade. I guess they have a little explanation here, but is that because it's like, okay, well, that other person has another roster spot to work with, and so they can add another person? Is that kind of what that is? Or I guess I can read this on air.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if it's like the one problem with trade calculators, I feel like they don't value premium players enough. And so like they show you like, yeah, these 17 guys can equal Justin Jefferson, but in no world should those 17 guys equal Justin Jefferson, and these 17 guys I'm talking about, like Simi Fehoko and stuff like that, like 17 of him, like wide receiver 6 on a team. And you can, so like, I feel like they don't value those premium players enough. But yeah, what does it say? What does it say? Does it say something?
It basically says we add value to the side of the trade that's giving up more when you look at roster plots, players, stud factor, etc. This is our way of countering trade calculations that say 12 third-round picks are a fair deal for DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay.
So they need to update that a little bit, but
yes,
I would take the 12 third-round picks.
For D-Hop, yeah.
Yeah. So the reason why I'm asking, because like I don't know if you can actually. No, I don't think there's a way to like say like, hey, I have super deep rosters and stuff like that. Like if you think about like our league, like our listener leagues, and it's like, yeah, you're getting an extra roster spot, but there ain't shit to add into that spot, like
Dynasty Daddy. If you link your league, it uses Keep Trade Cut values, but it also modifies it to like your league setting. So, Dynasty Daddy. It's free. Sign up, sponsor us.
I do like those guys.
Yeah, and you just you link your league and it adjusts for the deeper leagues and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm overall it wasn't a deep wide receiver class. I'm happy. Teteroa is on pace for 75 catches, 1,000 yards, and 5 or 6 touchdowns. So that is a fantastic rookie year.
Yeah.
Again, where we drafted him in redraft
about that.
Yeah, because of where we drafted him in redraft, maybe, or because of
there.
Well, okay, so we've had Jefferson 2020, Jamar Chase in 21, Puka in 22. Oh man, I'm messing up now. Or is he 23? Is this Puka's third year?
I think so.
Let's see here. Right. Who was in 22? 22 was Drake London, Garrett Wilson, Olave. Puka was not in that draft class. So we didn't have a huge
he was 23.
Performer in that year?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we didn't have a huge performer in 22, but then we had Puka 23 and then BTJ last year, right? And so that affects people. We expect a dominant receiver season from these guys. So
don't forget Malik Neighbors.
Oh yeah, yep.
I was trying to.
Sure, there was someone else in there too. Yeah, I feel like there might have been someone else in the Chase draft or something as well. I mean, Waddle had a good year.
St. Brown.
St. Brown was that year. He kind of had a good 7-8 weeks.
Yeah, at the end, and I remember we weren't sure what to do with him going into the 22 season. It was was that a real thing or?
Yeah, I mean, we still aren't, and this is again, I love to think about it and dive into it, but Amon-Ra St. Brown, why is JSN above Amon-Ra St. Brown in Dynasty? Why can't Amon-Ra St. Brown ever be in the same tier as Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb and Justin Jefferson? Although he is in the same tier as Jefferson right now, but you know what I mean? He's always always outside. He's the next tier of guys outside the top guys,
because they're haters.
Yeah, it's just a weird thing. I don't know. Is it because it's tough to say because Puka was a 5th round pick and Puka's wide receiver 2. So you can't really use that excuse, but Amon-Ra, I would reckon since 2022, has there been a receiver over those 4 years that have been better than him?
I don't know.
It would be Jeff. It would be Jefferson or Chase, right? I mean, I'm sure those guys were better, but they're not that far off, So maybe we don't see the huge, the huge season or something from him, but wide receiver 4 in 2023. Last year he was wide receiver 3. This year he's wide receiver 3. It's kind of crazy. I don't know. But there's something there that's causing that. So
is he 3? His team is 2, but I'm looking at our specific league. It's a half PPR league.
Yeah, he's 3 in full PPR. And 5 in points per game, but that does count Rashee Rice in 1 game. Emeka Egbuka, by the way, we talked about Tet and Travis Hunter. Emeka Egbuka is the number 1 rookie receiver in this class. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you have to.
Yeah. There's nothing else to say.
He's been awesome. And it goes back to and shows us we need to stop caring too much about where these guys go in terms of how is he going to get targets? JSN is another example of that. We were Metcalf and Lockett and blah blah blah, and it's well, now he's wide receiver 4 and one of the best wide receivers in the league. Emeka Egbuka, we kind of felt that way too.
Sam Darnold's his quarterback.
Then we have guys like Golden, Luther Burden, Alec Iomanner. I mean, I think jury's still out on these guys. Obviously, like Jaden Higgins, Torrey Horton.
Yeah, it's just way too early to
Mhm.
judge them. Now, going off of what you just said, I'm just looking at rookie wide receiver rankings. They got Isaac Tesla, Mr. Coleslaw. That always makes me think of that for some reason because the way they pronounce both A's. So he's at wide receiver 9 for rookie rankings, right? They obviously just gave Jameson a big contract. You know, like he's like what, 6th in the pecking order on the team in a given week. Now, what about that situation, and how do you think that's actually going to change to where he becomes fantasy relevant?
I don't know because like JMO's not even fantasy relevant this year,
Right?
you know. So it's like, again, there's just some guys like, I don't know. I think the fact that like I think one thing we love is when players come out of kind of nowhere, and that's affects their, you know, Ja'Cory Cross-Kemerritt is one of those guys, came out of nowhere. Tesla, no one was even talking about him before he got drafted in the 3rd round, you know, and he's kind of come out of nowhere and stuff. So yeah, it's going to take an injury, and then even then, I don't know. Like that team is centered around basically Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra. Like that's, you know, those are the centerpieces and stuff like that. So like I'll happily down tier from Tesla to, you know, Knoll. I really like Jalen Knoll. He's a buy low, by the way, Kevin, if you're still here. I think Jalen Knoll is a potential buy low. I think he's just a good receiver. You know, Besh, Kyle Williams. He's another guy that I'm still banking on Kyle Williams' talent. Like, I really like Kyle Williams. So, yeah, I mean, I don't see the path, I guess, to answer your question. Nico and Christian Kirk out, by the way. So
fire up Dalton Schultz
and Jalen Knoll.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Royals, by the way, is another one. Chiefs receiver, rookie. It's a next year thing, but Tez Johnson is another guy. Like he looked good in college, man, and we downplayed him a bit because of his size, but we'll see. That might just change. Anything else on rookie receivers?
No, we've been going for a while, so we should probably move on.
Yeah, I'm fine to go a little bit longer if you are, like 20-ish.
Yeah, my daughter gets out of school in like 15 minutes. She could just walk home, I guess. I probably have to step off the camera and like just call her and tell her to walk home.
All right, we'll wrap up in 15 though. That's fine. You have to leave in 15 or 10?
She gets out in 15, but she never comes out right away anyway. So,
all right, we'll go through these. Rookie tight ends. You know, Tyler Warren, Harold Fannin. Do you agree with Fannin over Loveland? And how much? Well, let's start there. Do you agree that Harold Fannin is ranked over Colston Loveland?
I mean, they're essentially back to back, right? Like I see him tight end 7, tight end 9. I think Loveland, this kind of plays right back into that same conversation, right? Like as far as like, how do we see this like moving forward? You know, crowded receiving room and things like that. Like, how is that going to change? It's like, well, I think it can change. You know, like I think I'm still going to give the slight nod to Harold Fannin, but it's close. Like if you can trade either one for the other plus a little something, I'm doing that.
Yeah, I'm still Loveland. Like I think the Fannin thing's a little bit of an overreaction, but and again, this is another guy I talked about. He had a cult following behind him because he's like Bowling Green, and the guy put up like 1,500 yards in college, which is insane.
Well, yeah, that's the big thing, right? That's the only reason why I even knew who he was. It's like, oh, he led all of college football in receiving Like, was it all metrics? Was it catches, yards, and touchdowns, or was
I
it
don't know
just
about
yards and
touchdowns.
yards?
There's definitely
Yeah.
catches and yards though.
Yeah. So that's the only reason I knew who he was, and the whole thing was like, they talked about him a lot in the preseason where it's like, oh yeah, he's going to be our Joker or our Swiss Army knife or whatever the fuck they called him. And they're kind of making good on that, like the dude's been playing alongside Njoku even like the last 4 weeks, he's 80% of the snaps or more. Yeah. And even before that, he was still playing over 60, he's getting the targets and stuff. The ghost of Jerry Jeudy is like his only competition right now. It's like, what the fuck? What happened there? So I think I'll take the immediate satisfaction, I guess, of Loveland. Or sorry, Fannin. But
yeah. And are we ready for Rondé Gadsden to be ranked over Colston Loveland here in about a week? Because it's coming. I don't see why not.
It's definitely coming.
Not saying I agree with it, but I don't see why not. Like, Gadsden has been awesome the last 2 weeks. So
yeah, that is coming for sure. So
I mean,
but
damn, Gadsden's been better than Fannin in a points per game basis. So like, yeah, it's 100% coming, but I don't agree with it. And I still think Loveland can be really, really good. But
yeah, I mean, we were hoping for he was going to be Sam Laporta rookie year, right, with Ben Johnson and stuff, and we haven't seen that yet. But we did see. We saw like a good flash of what he could do with opportunity. I thought maybe I'm misremembering this. And maybe I'm just like, I went into a fugue state and made this up in my head. I'm looking at his like stat sheet.
He hasn't really done much.
Yeah, I thought he had some encouraging usage right before his injury, but no. It was one catch for 31 yards. So,
but Komet's gonna miss, I think, this week. So, no.
Yeah, the door's opening up for sure. Loveland.
And other guys like Elijah Arroyo, Terrence Ferguson. Buy low on these guys. When Gunnar Helm is another one. All these guys, I think, are talented tight ends that could really do something. So. But we'll wrap up the rookie talk there. I can get to these comments if you want to take off, Brian. And I do want to talk more Dynasty. Maybe we can do this again next week, and because it was fun, and just talk, not just rookies, other things and stuff like that.
Get your guys' trade questions together over this next week, because we're kind of like, we're really gearing up towards like prime trading. It's like, there should be some decent separation in most leagues at this point for guys that are kind of like at the top, the guys that are at the bottom, and obviously that ever dreaded guys in the middle, right? And it's like, do you start trading pieces to try and get out of the middle into those playoffs? Like, I'd be interested, like what people got going on.
Yeah, and if you want your team reviewed, you can join our Discord. I actually did 2 team reviews for a guy last week. I didn't even tell you, Brian, about this, but for redraft, happily do them for Dynasty at any point. It can be now, it can be in the off season, whatever. We, break down your team. We'll spend 30, 40 minutes on it, most likely. And, just kind of help you answer there more. So I'll get to these questions. We'll try and make this a little bit more, like, we've had a lot of viewers just watching, this whole time. So people obviously like to hear people talk Dynasty. So we'll try and make this as consistent as we can. Maybe every couple of weeks, every few weeks or something on Fridays. Obviously in the off season, it's all Dynasty. So make sure to join us then. But I'm going to start going through some of these questions. You want to take off, or?
I can stick around for a few more minutes. I was kind of looking around, and I see Lucy's electric scooter over there. So I can like literally get to her school in like 3 minutes.
Okay. Well, just take off when you need to. And
okay.
Okay, we talked about that one. I think we were here. It was the last one. Should I pick up Dart or Rogers now to replace Mahomes during his Week 10 bye? Yeah, you can always look ahead. Definitely always look ahead. I mean, who are those teams? Who are they playing? So what are we in week 8, 9? So Chargers for Rogers.
Chicago for Dart.
Yeah, I'd probably just go Dart.
Yeah, and if he falls apart over the next 2 weeks, just pick up somebody else.
Yeah, and there's probably going to be some more hitting the waiver wire as like people use up. A lot of people are using their bye week quarterback this week and then they drop them. So trade calculators don't include the value of free agents on waivers, which is why I think can be okay. Yeah. It was that, right?
That's kind of what I was saying, Rocky. I assume that plays part into it, but if they're not taking into account the size of your rosters, we're a 12 team start 12 with 28 man rosters, that's huge. It's like there's no way there's someone on the waiver wire, like given that value adjustment number. And obviously that changes according to like what stud you have on the other side. So there's a little bit more to it than that, but it's definitely got to be part of it.
Yeah, the number one setting I need to know when talking about dynasty trades is how many starters you're starting. I think it's more important than PPR. It's more important than whatever. Like, obviously, all that stuff matters too, but it's like people don't talk about it enough. There's a lot of good channels out there that do talk about it. If you guys are getting information from people, just make sure like they acknowledge the amount of starters, because a start 8 versus a start 12, it changes everything. So, should have a great week with Dalton for Tetaroa. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, it takes one big game, and we're all in. Redraft, half PPR, 14 team, trade Judkins, Warren, McMillan for Amon-Ra, May, Isaiah Davis. I lose Fields. I pick up Flacco. Still have HN and Bucky. So Judkins, Warren, tight end Warren, and Tetaroa.
Yeah, it's not Jalen McMillan, right? No one's talking about him.
Yeah.
Tetaroa.
It's a one quarterback, I assume. Man, I think I like. This is kind of tough. I mean, you're getting basically Amon-Ra, Isaiah Davis, like we'll see, but like Drake May. But like, what's the fall off from Drake May to Flacco? It might not be that much, like with the way that Flacco slings it. I think I like the Judkins, Warren, McMillan side. I think Amon-Ra is the best player in the piece, but like if I could just start Flacco, keep Judkins, Warren, and McMillan, like I don't know.
Yeah, in a 14-teamer.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I would just keep that first side and pick up Flacco.
Yeah.
He still has Achan and Bucky in 3 weeks when he comes back.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
I don't. I'm just saying, like, that's what he actually emailed me. I mean, he's already been ruled out for this week, and then they have one more game and then a bye, I think. So.
Yeah, they're ruling him out like very early. Like Tuesday, you're out. So that makes me think he's not even close. But
they obviously need they obviously don't necessarily need him. Like they'd love to have him, but at the same time, like they're still playing well, minus the game against the Lions.
Yeah.
After the Lions won that game, Bree asked me, she was like, "What do you think your dad would have said?" And I was like, you know what? He was never much of a gloater. He like I think what I told her was like, oh, he would have called me a dumb shit or something like that. But he was never much of a gloater to me, anyways. About like I remember when they played each other in the playoffs a couple years ago. I can't remember who Detroit beat the first week, but he was definitely. I remember him telling me like, I'm more worried about the Bucks this week than I was about whoever last week, And the other team was arguably kind of a better team. It might have been, was it Houston? I don't know.
I don't remember, but yeah, he wasn't. But also, like, it was all new. The Lions being good was all new for him, even though he's over 6 years old. Like it was just like what this. I don't know how to react. So, you got to take off, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
All right, I'll answer these last questions and take off too.
All right.
We'll see.
Are we going live again in the morning?
Yep, we'll be live tomorrow morning.
All right, perfect. I'll see you all then.
See ya. All right. So we got to that, Oscar, Bill and Woody Marks, Debo or Troy Franklin. Danny, this is for redraft, I assume, right? So we got Bill or Woody Marks, Debo or Troy Franklin. Between Bill and Woody Marks, if it's PPR, I think I go Woody Marks. I'm a little bit afraid of a sit start. Yeah, is it PPR, Danny? I'm a little bit afraid. Like the game script for Bill is a little worrisome against the Chiefs. They could be behind a lot. They're playing Mariota. Chiefs defense, I think, is kind of legit. Like, I don't think McCroskey Merritt's going to catch a lot of passes. Could be different with Mariota, but yeah, I think I lean Woody Marks. Like, I think he's a safer play. I wouldn't. They're very close, but I think I go Woody Marks there. Debo or Troy Franklin? I'm going Debo. I'm going Debo there, and that's good that you're not starting two commanders. Debo and Woody Marks, because then you're not buying completely into there. But yeah, I can't start Troy Franklin over Debo. Not saying he can't have a better game against Dallas, but I'm just going to go Debo there, the better player. Burrito Master, as a contender, are you thinking about Barkley? How much would you be willing to give? I guess it depends on, do you think Barkley's going to turn it around, right? Like, Barkley hasn't been, I feel like he hasn't been as bad as we think. Like, he's been RB 14 to start the year, RB 18 in points per game. Obviously, nowhere near where he was last year. But, like, he's had, he's played in 7 games. He's had 17 or more points in 4 of those 7 games. So, like, I'm still willing as a contender to give up a first for him, assuming that's a late first. I kind of want to wait a couple more weeks, though. I kind of want to wait a couple more weeks because that price could go down, especially if Barkley's on a rebuilding team. You might be able to get him just a little. It's always a risk because if he goes off, then you have to pay more. But I might want to wait a couple more weeks just to kind of see where I'm at, where Barkley's at, and maybe I can get him a little bit lower. I'd still be willing to throw in a first and a dart throw rookie like an Alec Eilmanor or a Tesla or a whatever rookie running back, Bayshall Tootin or something like that. I'm still willing to buy in on him. So and just assume that they get because he still looks good. That's the thing about Barkley. Like, he still looks good. It's just he hasn't been I don't know. They're not using him enough or something. It's just weird. Like, the Eagles' offense has been weird this year. But Barkley still looks good. And so I'm going to buy into, like, that he has all he needs. If you're buying him, all you need him to do is just to go off in the playoffs. Like, you need a 4-week stretch from week 14 to 17 or, 3-4 week stretch and win me my championship. And so I'd be willing to still give up like a first and a rookie who hasn't really performed this year. Woody Marks and a 27-second or Kincaid, tight end premium 1.75. I'm going to take Woody Marks in the second. But I will say this, like, when it comes to tight ends, I'm kind of in the camp of like, they kind of don't matter. Obviously, it changes with the 1.75 tight end premium, but like, I assume it's a PPR and tight ends are getting 0.75 more. I know we already talked about this, Terry. So like, it's good, but to me, the difference is really when tight ends are getting double or more, like they're getting 2 or 2.25 per reception. That's where it really starts to make a difference. So I think I'm just going to take Marks in the second here, just because I think the Texans really like Marks. So 6-1 and win now. Would you all trade Bucky and White for CMC, Brian Robinson in a third? Yeah. I think if you're going for the win, it's tough to trade Bucky. Man, but CMC is just like he's the cheat code, right? Like, you're adding him to your team. You're getting the San Francisco backfield, trading away the Buccaneers. I mean, I think I would. And the way I look at it here is if I win the league with CMC, I'm not going to care that I traded Bucky Irving. Like, I think Bucky Irving obviously is going to be better than CMC over the next 4 years, right? But if I win the league because I trade Bucky Irving and I get McCaffrey, I'm ultimately not going to care, right? And I still think McCaffrey, by the way, can still have multiple. Like, he can still be. He's obviously awesome this year. He can still be good next year. The next couple of years. So it's not even a given. I think I make that trade. As much as it sucks, and I love Bucky, but man, if he gets you that championship, and you're 6-1, so you obviously have a good team. So I think I would, Big Bando. Really think about it. Me or you? What are you thinking there? Any thoughts on trading Trey Tucker for Shaheed? With the trade rumors on Myers, Shaheed, and Olave. Also, with Shaheed being a free agent in the season, wondering who has bigger upside. Who has bigger upside? I think Shaheed has a little bit more upside. So I think he's just – they're very similar players. But, yeah, I kind of like Shaheed, especially if he goes to, like, the right team, either traded to or free agent. But they're very similar. So, like, if you were to offer me Trey Tucker and a fourth for Shaheed, I might just take that deal. Like, that's kind of how close they probably are for me. Trey Tucker and a third. Like, whatever side I'm getting a little bit more on, I'm probably just taking. If it's just a straight up trade, I probably don't even make the trade. I just keep the guy. I don't like making straight up trades where I think the value is equal. I just keep the guy I have because, I think you're going to be much happier in that scenario. So, yeah, I think I just take whatever side I get a little bit more on. But I like Shaheed a tad bit more in a vacuum. So, yeah, I am getting scared with those reports as well. I'm getting scared. And we just talked about it, 10 minutes ago of like they rule him out on Tuesday. Like I don't think I've ever seen a situation as I have with the Bucks the last couple of weeks where they're basically saying this guy and this guy are out on Tuesday. Like I don't ever remember that even being a thing. Like, obviously, like maybe I'm just misremembering, but like usually it's teams play their cards close and stuff. Like I don't know, like it is concerning for sure. So I would make that trade, Big Bando. I would make that trade. Again, if you don't win your league, you're probably disappointed with this trade, but maybe not because you're putting yourself in the situation to win. So, and you can't fault. It might not work out, but you can't fault yourself for doing that. So, what's up, Frizzle? Who's the Texans wide receiver one, Noel or Higgins? I like Noel a little bit more. I actually, honestly, like it might be Xavier Hutchinson. He might be, he's been there for a few years now. He's been playing in about 65% of the snaps so far this year. That got bumped up to almost 80 last week. I like Noel the best, though. I just think he's a little bit more like I could see him having, a good PPR day, a 6 for 60 type of day. Like I can see Noel having that type of game. So, but it's probably Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz is probably the guy you want to go out there and potentially start. So, but that's all I have for you guys. We will be live tomorrow morning. What time? Tomorrow morning at noon Eastern. We'll go live. Maybe 11. I'll have to double check. 11 or noon Eastern. Join our Discord if you're not sure, and we'll answer. It'll be all start stage, so no Dynasty stuff, unless you want to talk Dynasty. But it'll be that both Saturday and Sunday morning we'll be going live. So join us for that. Appreciate all the people. We're going to try and make this a little bit consistent of a thing, at least, just talking Dynasty and join us in the off season. If you're new, like we talk Dynasty rookies, we break it down, rookie mock drafts, all that fun stuff. Like that's all we talk about. in the off season. So, but yeah, appreciate everyone, and have a good Friday, and I'll catch you guys all in the next stream.